On YouTube, this is your boy Mr. Micro Mike, and today I think I got everything squared away when it comes to my sound, and I just felt like talking some football today on this Saturday. And so it's May 30. I want to talk some football, talk some general information just about anything, subscriber talk, as well as talk about, the incidents that's occurring around the world when it comes to obviously Minnesota. So I'm just here ready to talk some sports, whatever, and get this bad boy going. What's going on, Gridiron Yuki? Welcome to this out of nowhere live chat, live talk session. Hey, what's going on, Adam Buchart? Welcome, man. And so this is my new setup. This is also, I got the microphone fixed. Hopefully it's fixed, right? Hopefully. And so just here wanting to talk some football and just get into it. I seen a picture of... Looks like I'm the only one here. There's other people. It just started. It'll slowly creep in. I seen Jarrad Davis. If you guys seen the picture of Jarrad Davis, he went to refine his work and refine the way that he was getting fit. Hey, what's going on, everything king? Yeah, I'm going to talk about that incident too when it comes to Minnesota because I'm really upset about that. But yeah, man, Everything King sent me this picture of Jarrad Davis, and my God, he's shredded. My God, he is shredded. That guy looks like RoboCop. He looks like the real deal right now. That dude was built like a tank. Could not believe it. So I'm happy for Jarrad Davis. He needs this. He needs that ability to get strong and big and focus on this upcoming season. And James Conner are buffed. Yes, they are. Have you seen the picture of James Conner? I have not seen the James Conner one. I seen the Jarrad Davis one that King threw my way, and he was big as a giant. Man, he was a monster amongst boys. So yeah, I seen that, and he was shredded. He was shredded. That was insane. I think even Mobby put it on his community post. If you guys are wanting to see it, so Jarrad Davis looks like a tank, man, and so I'm happy for him. I literally thought it was photoshopped. He was that big. I had to do a discount double check, and I just couldn't believe how massive a human being could get that shredded, and he was getting shredded. What's going on, Pat Blue Ball? Just talking some general talk today, some Detroit Lions. I also want to touch base with the stuff that happened in Minnesota with the man getting killed with a knee to his throat, and it was discussed. Do you think the Patriots will tank for Trevor Lawrence? No, they're not going to tank. If they're trying to get Trevor Lawrence, what's going on in the general view? If they're trying to get Trevor Lawrence, they're in a fight with the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they are definitely in tank mode, and I think Jacksonville's got a leg up on all the competition when it comes to trying to tank for Trevor Lawrence. So I'd look for that team for sure. But yeah, man, let me touch base with the stuff that happened in Minnesota, because this extremely upsetted me. And the reason this upset me is I didn't want to talk about it. I left comment to King about this. This is something that happened into my last year in the Army, and there is Jacksonville, yeah, there definitely. There is issues when it comes to individuals who hold power. And when I was in the Army, and I'm not going to name names, I know some of my Army buddies view my content, so they know some of the situations, but I was a sergeant, I was a team leader, I was a truck commander, and so I had some individuals underneath me. And one specific incident was very... They did something so disgusting, and they thought it was so funny that I tried to put them up for an Article 15. I tried to get them to face real judgment when it comes to issues in the Army. And it's very similar. It wasn't a death or anything, but I feel like at least when it comes to the military, I'm not 100% sure when it comes to the police force, that there's individuals that go into a force, whether it be, again, the military and or the police force or any other position of authority. And there's good individuals that get in there, but there is a aura to push the good people out. Now, this happened to me in the Army. I cannot say, this is for the police force, but the politics in the Army, for me, it got extremely... It felt like if I did not want to... The mission for me in Iraq was hearts and minds. You want to win the hearts and minds of the local population over, so maybe they will stop coming after you. Maybe they will treat you with a little more respect. And I took that to heart. I really, really did. And I was a minority of the voice. When we got there, there was things done to the people that I felt like it was inhuman. Almost kind of like the Abu Ghraib type of stuff, but not to that extent. And I was so upset with what was taking place, because when you treat human beings less than a human being, no wonder they don't like you. No wonder they're so upset, because you're treating them like human garbage, that they're less than you. When I went over there, I did not treat the population less than human garbage, because I took value in my uniform. I took pride on putting on my uniform. It represents the United States of America. It represents the Western philosophy when you're going into the Middle East. It represents the best of the human capacity. That's what I took in when I wore my uniform. And I'm very proud of that. My father did 2 tours in Vietnam. My grandfather stormed the beaches of Normandy. My other grandfather did as well. My wife's grandfather was airborne on Normandy Beach. Okay, so they went in, and I take pride into that. I take pride into the idea of the United States of America. And when you put on a uniform, and when you do these type of things, you do good things, it represents yourself good light. But when you do bad things, it destroys the whole idea of greatness. It destroys everything. And I got out of the Army for physical issues, but one of this was politics, because I would not go with the flow. I would not treat human beings with the disgust and disdain that they don't deserve. Just because I went to a country that's a third world does not give me the right to treat these people any less than I would treat my neighbor here. And it got to that point where it became normal and okay. And that's not okay. That's not okay. And individuals who have worn a uniform, whether it be military such as myself in the Army, or if you're a police officer, you need to look at the institutions. And when you're seeing something bad take place, don't bow down. Don't cow down. Stand up for what's right. Stand up for your moral values. Because when we die, we got to face God. And your excuse can't say, well, I was peer pressured into being a moron. That ain't gonna work. That's not gonna work. You disgrace yourself, you disgrace the uniform, you disgrace the United States of America. It's disgusting that you would do these. And those individuals, those police officers that stand there, and they watched that man put a knee on his neck. You are a disgusting human being. You're a disgusting human being. You stood there. You stood there. And you said nothing. You have a uniform on. You represent that uniform. You represent it. My uncle is a police officer, and it's disgusting what you did. Disgusting. You disgraced the uniform. You disgraced everything about what makes this country good. You disgraced it. And it sickens me to my stomach that this stuff happens. And it sickens me that people sit back. Don't sit back. If you are a police officer, if you're someone who wears a uniform, get up and speak out. Because we know what takes place in there. We know what takes place in there. I dealt with it firsthand. And it was the hardest year of my life seeing this type of stuff. And I have to live with myself. Seeing this. And it was disgusting. We need to all stand up who's a veteran. Who has a position of authority. When you have a position over authority, you're there to protect the people. You're not there to be an egotistical maniac. You are there to protect the people around you. When I was in Iraq, my job was to protect the innocent. Not to put my authority upon them. You disgusting human being. And you're going to face judgment one day. And everyone out there that does not speak out, that if you've worn a uniform, you know this. You know what takes place because it was not just happened to me. Speak out. Because the more individuals such as myself who wore a uniform speak out, this can get defeated. Because those individuals that disgrace a uniform destroys it for everybody else. Destroys it for everybody else. My uncle is a great police officer. He's a good man. And you disgraced that uniform, and you disgraced his image. You disgraced my grandfather who stormed the beach of Normandy. You disgraced my father who did 2 tours of Vietnam. You disgraced myself who tried to make a difference in Iraq. You disgraced that. Do you know what you've done? You want to kill innocent people and you think that's funny? You think that's okay? It's not okay. When you wear a uniform, when you put on a uniform, you're there to protect and serve. Protect and serve. We know you don't go 0 to 100 when it comes to confrontation. That does not occur. There's many steps you must take when you're in that position. When I was in Iraq and I was in confrontation or in a possible confrontation, my first goal is not to take them out. You have many different steps. The least part is that. The absolute least is that. And I hope the book gets thrown on you. And those people that stood there and did nothing, I hope the book gets thrown at you. And you're a disgrace. You're a disgrace to the uniform. I'd have ripped that. I'd rip that thing right off you. Disgraceful. Guys, it upset me so bad. Because there's so much people that put on a uniform. People that are good. We're not there to dictate our rule of law. We're not there to be an evil human being. We are there to do the best we can to serve the community, to serve your country. We are not above the law. We are not above the law. We must treat people better than ourselves. That is what is serving. You put yourself last before the people. The people that stormed the beaches of Normandy Were they thinking of themselves? Or were they thinking about they gotta stop Adolf Hitler, they gotta stop the Nazis, and they're willing to die for that? That's what it was about. That's what it's about. Where have that gone? Where is that ideal set at? Where you sacrifice yourself, you serve in your country, serve in your community, not you make them serve you. As now I'm not in the service anymore. You police officers, you soldiers out there, stand up against the bad. Stand up against the evil. Ultimately, it's you who gets hurt, and you know it. I was so upset when that stuff went down in Iraq, and I was willing to. I took so much grief. So much grief. They tried to take my rank. They did everything they possibly could to destroy me because I would not fall in the same narrative of simply go with the flow. Because when I see other people treat other people worse than a dog, I don't care about that. I care about what's right. And that's not right. I'm pleading to you, if you see this now, or if you see this later, if you are a police officer, a firefighter, a veteran such as myself, a service member, stand up. Stand up. If you see it, stand up. Don't be afraid. Because if we all stand up, this nonsense can end. This narrative that swarms, can be defeated. It can. Because it's taken us away from the past 50, 60 years. But we can bring it back. But we gotta stand up together as one. We must stand up together as one. If you see an unlawful order, if you see something that goes against morals, if you see it, stand up, because guess what? You do not have to take an indirect and unlawful order. That is part of the code. You defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Foreign and domestic. There's a code of military justice. You represent that code regardless what your superior says. Regardless, because at the end of the day, you are correct, and if they're doing something disgusting, you have a right to stand up against that regardless of their rank compared to yours. If you're just a young police officer and you see something bad happen to veterans, you make a stand. If you're a soldier and you see this stuff happen that's not right, take a stand. Because we can fight it as one unit. We can. I taught my kids the way to live your life. Do not be a sheep. Do not follow simply because someone says something. Make a stand on yourself. Be a leader. Lead by example. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be. Because you're hurting our country. You're hurting our soul. It's a soul. At the end of the day, we all face judgment. We all do. We all face judgment. And you want to be on the right side of that judgment. Because my faith, what I believe, my morals, what I believe, thinks that's disgusting. And even if you're not a religious person, if you're not a Christian, whatever, think about this. Would you want this to happen to you? Do you want someone to act like a total prick to you? Because I don't think so. Treat people the way you want to be treated. If you're in a position of power, if you have that authority, if you have that responsibility, that you are in a position of power, if you are a soldier, if you are a police officer, whatever, use that for good. Because you can. I know it's hard. I know you may get destroyed, your reputation get destroyed, but that's okay, because when I left the Army, when that stuff took place with me, my soul and the way that I live my life is so much better. I don't have that on my conscience. We must be better. It doesn't matter your race. It doesn't matter your religion. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter. We are all human beings. We're all American. So let's act like it. Sorry guys, I had to do a rant, fellas. I seen that video, and there's things that happened to me when I was in the Army that I talked to TA, I talked to the guys, and when you have a position of authority, it's very important that you use that correctly. It's very, very important. And it's an honor to wear a uniform. It is a responsibility added to what you do. And so it's important that we use that the correct way. Fellas, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and get to the Detroit Lions and just talk some talk today. So, but I wanted to get on last night with Travis and Grid. And I seen that video and it blew up, fellas. So what's going on, Go Lions? What's going on, Brandy Hodges? What's going on, Gridiron Yuki? Believe the Hype. Chris Cashbaugh. Man, welcome to the chat. D. Williams. Detroit Tella. Yes, Mike and Everything King is the real deal. Well, thank you very much. What's going on, Andre and Will Dirks? Sorry, I had to do a rant about what I saw that took place in Minnesota. And it relates to what happened to me. And so if you want to revisit that, you can revisit it. But we're going to go ahead and talk about the Detroit Lions. And, you know, when it comes to Jarrad Davis, if you've seen the picture, Everything King, he sent it to me. Jarrad Davis is ripped beyond belief. He looks like I never seen a man that shredded. That's what it's like. What's going on, Game 102? And hopefully he can take because we all know Jarrad Davis. He has got the traits when it comes to personality to really take it to the next level. Like, he has that ability. Hilarious broadcast. That's my daughter. She says, facts. My dad has done so much. He has taught me that I follow. He knows if I were not to be a follower. He knows if I were followers, we might follow the wrong person. I might, but I don't. I know to stand up. That's right. And I distilled that in my daughter, and I make sure both of them believe that way. So thank you, Carr. What's going on, Dad Dude Live? I have you scheduled for Thursday. If you can do this Thursday, going live on the One Pride podcast. And it's going to be a fun time. Let's see. Believe the Hype. He says, man, good for him. My gangster dad. Oh, my God. That's my kid. James Conner is more shredded than Jarrad Davis. That's insane. So I got to see the James Conner because Jarrad Davis was extremely shredded beyond belief. And, man, I can't wait to see what this guy looks like. That is a man in a mission. You gotta stand up, guys. Even if it's against the grain, no matter what, you got to do what is right. At the end of the day, folks, in my belief system as a Christian, we all face God. We all face God, and there's no excuse you can say. There's a good movie. I had my daughter see it, Carly. I forget what movie that was I showed you, but it was a test about how it was basically a social test of why the Nazis did what they did when it turned from average folks into Monsters. And it was a movie out of a test. It is a social experiment that was done in the 1970s. You got to see it, and this explains why good people will turn bad. And it is the fact that people are afraid to stand up. So you got to check that out if you want to kind of get an idea of the psychology behind it. How you in his 20s? Had you in his 20s. Yo, I'm 35, man. Let me double back. We should be good for Thursday. Okay, so yeah, just let me know if you're good to go, but you should be good to go. They started working on him and his overall strength last year. Been pale before then I was drafted. It's finally to see some men on his kids. Okay, yes, I am definitely a man on a mission. You think contract year Davis is going to be a problem? No, I think Jarrad Davis has an extremely awesome personality. This guy is a hard worker, regardless on how he's doing when it comes to on the field. His personality is extremely high profile. Okay, this man is a very good man when it comes to personality. So I have no doubt about it that he's going to do everything he can to better his play on the field. And that's good because we need him to. That's one thing you can't say about Jarrad Davis. He is a good man through and through. Hey, y'all, let's get them likes up. Yeah, I have no idea, but I appreciate that. Amen. God is only judge. Who verdict? Yes, 100% with you. House Davis, that brought me to my tears. It put me to my tears when I seen it, man. It brings back a lot of bad memories. I have PTSD. I have depression. I have anxiety and panic attacks. And there's some things that trip me off. One of these things is stuff like that because I've seen it, and it really gets me in a different mood. It's really bad, and one of my triggers for my panic attacks and anxiety is stuff like that because I dealt with it a lot in Iraq. I have insomnia. I take 10 to 15 pills a night to sleep, and I have to see a psychologist, and it's a lot of stuff that I saw that was so bad that it keeps me up at night, and it really triggered me when I seen it. I was so angry and so sad that it's a different evil. You know what I'm saying? Let's fight together. No more race, religion, politics. Especially, it's a human being conversation. Absolutely, 100%, no doubt about it, and that's the way it should be. I don't really get why people dislike. Look, we're gonna have dislikes. That's just the way it is. I'm not too worried about it. Let's see here. Jarrad Davis is garbage. Well, he's got to definitely perform this year, or this is a big year for him. If he doesn't pan out, then he's not going to be a Detroit Lion next year, in my opinion. Oh yeah, the cops, the ones with all the power, get to do that one. Prisoners in 6 days, they had to stop it. The cops did a terrible stuff. Yeah, that's my daughter. That's my daughter Carly. And yeah, and we have really good friends that are police officers. We have family members, and it puts tears down their eyes, and it infuriates them. Guys, there's a lot of good men and women that wear uniform out there, and we just all got to stand up and say no to the bad stuff. And if we do that we can change. We can get back to the narrative and to the way it should be. We got 19 likes. Thank you. Believe the Hype. We're going to have to get you on here too. Make sure you subscribe to Believe the Hype, guys. He is my apprentice when it comes to hype videos. He's a Detroit Lions fan. Please do me a favor. If you have not subscribed to his channel, do so. He's a good man. Believe the Hype. Oh, and guys, I am starting my memberships. I submitted my memberships, and it's going to be absolutely great. So for $1.99, I'm going to do special shout-outs to you on videos and special emojis and stuff like that. And I'm also going to do videos on how I create content, how I create hype videos, and that will be special to members, because I know a lot of people ask me, not just Believe the Hype, but I've had a lot of people ask me, how do you create your videos I would love to see a tutorial. So I'm going to create some tutorials and stuff like that, and how I created my YouTube channel, how I get settings like this up, you know, what is required to do so. If you're interested in that, when my membership gets there, make sure to sign up and I can show you how to do that. What took time? Dislike my dad. That just preached. Hey, don't worry about it, Car. Let's see. Out to you, Mike. Yeah, Dad Dude Live is a Detroit Lions YouTuber as well. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. He's been on live with myself before, and he's probably going to be live with us on Thursday. So subscribe to his channel. Vash, Micro Mike. Hey, what's going on, Vash Darwin? Vash Darwin's a YouTuber as well, and I love what they do on the retro gaming. What's up? Just the way it. Hilarious broadcast. People gonna hate. Yeah, that's my daughter, Gridiron Yuki. Let's see. I will subscribe to your channel. Awesome. Well, that's great news. Vash, hello. Thank you so much, Miss B. Yeah, Miss B is awesome. I have the right to be mad to those who have no respect. Welcome. Yeah, that's my daughter, Carly. Karly. Yes, Mike is the only reason I figured out how to do hype videos. I don't know what to do. Yeah. 20 likes. Let's get it up. And so let's get back to the Detroit Lions and talk about what they can accomplish this year. And I think they need to still pick up individuals. I've talked about this on the Pride podcast, is they need to pick up more talent on that defensive line. I think with this COVID, I think what's taking place, guys, is this COVID stuff is basically hurting the idea of signing some of these players that maybe have an injury history. And so hopefully when things calm down and, you know, across the United States when it comes to basically reopening everything, that we can start seeing signings and get back to beefing up part of our team. I think we need to get the defensive line. I know some people want Efferson Griffin. I want Marcel Darius or an individual on the defensive line. And yes, I feel like right now we got decent talent, and what happened to us last year was via injury, and I 100% agree with that. But my fear is that will happen again, is more injury. So I think it's important to still add another piece to that defensive line. I would like to see a defensive tackle. I know a lot of people like Efferson Griffin. I wouldn't mind that as well. But I think we do need help on that defensive line. I think that's really, really important as well. I feel like we've done really good with the linebacker position when it comes to acquiring talent for this season, mixed with a lot of the free agents when it comes to Collins and others. And same with the secondary. I think we're fairly solid there all around. So I think our weakest point right now is the defensive line depth. And so if we can add another piece there, that would be great, and that would be fantastic. And Deshaun Hand, if he can get back to his rookie year form and staying healthy, we really could take the next step, guys. Yeah, that's cool. So you can see my drink. So I definitely believe that we are going to take the next step. So if you have any questions about Lions, let's just go ahead and pop it in there, and we will get this thing cracking. When it comes to Lions, I think they're going to have a good year, guys. I know a lot of people may be pessimistic, as they have very right to be. Yes, Miss Brandy Hodges, my daughter is a Lions YouTuber, or not a Lions, but she's a Lions kids YouTuber. So go if you want to subscribe to her. She probably smiling and being weird. So I think that the Lions are going to have a good season, and the reason why is, again, we acquired a lot of talent into the Patricia system, and the Patricia way is different. Not a lot of people like those individuals that get in your face and that have that drill sergeant mentality and that are unwilling to be your best friend. But in my opinion, that's what is needed for this team. We need a culture change. We do, guys. And the culture has never been a winning culture at this point. We have not won a playoff game since '91. That's a long time. So getting individuals that bring into a new mentality, let's try it. Why not try it out? And right now we don't have a choice, but why not try it out? So I think that we have individuals like that. When you have individuals that are willing to listen to the general, in a sense, it can go in the right direction. Winning needs to be first priority, not anything else. I no doubt about it, winning is first priority. I don't care about anything else. If we win, I'm happy. We lose, I'm not happy. We got to win. And I think bringing in Collins to help the linebackers out in the room with the Patriot way, understanding, look, guys, it's going to take a different mentality. Yes, it's going to be tough. Yes, Matt Patricia is hard. Yes, this, that, and the other, but this is what you got to do to be successful. This is what we've done in New England to be successful. Throwing Harmon in the secondaries room, the same thing. And these guys are leaders too. Like Harmon, if you listen to his interview, he seemed to me like a very genuine, good leader, and it really helps out the idea of changing, the narrative and teaching these young guys the Patriot way. I mean, Tracy Walker's not old. Obviously, Jeff Okudah, Amani Awarie, we got a lot of young people, so we got to mold them into the philosophy that Matt Patricia wants, and that's required. Hey, what's going on, Marvin Tolbert? I hope we stick with the culture and allow it to turn around. 100%. I am 100%. And if you do look back at Bill Belichick when he was with the Cleveland Browns, it was not a fast turnaround. Same with the New England Patriots. It is a different mentality. You got to have a different mentality. And when it comes to Darius Slay, look, Darius Slay, he's a very talented individual, but he was not buying into the system. So if you're not going to have an individual who's buying into the system, then what is the point? What is the point? And it's not going to work out. And same with Snacks Harrison. I think Snacks Harrison, though, it was a little bit both of not buying in the system as well. He's getting older, and he was on the field a lot. I think that's a mixture of it all, but we have to have people that buy into the system. Guys, the front office and coaches are long-term, or them thinking we lose, they're gone. Yes, it's if they lose, they're gone. As they should. Sorry, guys. They do need to win. This is year 3. We do need to win. And I think, guys, in all reality, we would have been better record than 3-12-1 if we have not had the injuries such as Matthew Stafford. What's going on? Want pride? Absolutely. So when it comes to this idea of winning, we have to win. And the one thing I do like about the Detroit Lions right now is, I'm going to take my hat off. So when it comes to the Detroit Lions right now, is that we have a team that tends to play to the level of the competition. We have a very tough schedule this year, apparently the 5th toughest, but we play to the level of competition. And that's a good thing if you're playing hard teams. It's a bad thing if you play bad teams. But when you're playing hard teams and you play to the level of competition, that means that this team can play with the big dogs. I mean, we literally beat the New England Patriots in the year 1. We hung with the Kansas City Chiefs. We hung with the big dogs. We just didn't finish some of these games. And if we can then at that point play to the level of competition when it comes to good teams, then sky's the limit. If we can get into the playoffs, at that point, guys, we have a chance. We have a chance in the dance. I don't think we're going to have the insane record of, like 14-2 or anything like that. I think it's more of a 9 to 10 win team. But that will get you into the playoffs this year, and all it takes a chance is to get into the playoffs. You look at the New York Giants. They basically was, I think, the 6th seed and won the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots. Then you had the team last year, the Tennessee Titans, who came out of nowhere and was a very dominant force in the playoffs, lost in the AFC Championship game, but they smoked the Baltimore Ravens, they smoked the New England Patriots, and that's what's required, guys. And I think when we have the ability now to run the football, it's going to make us a much better, well-rounded team on offense and on defense. I think, yes, I agree with you. Believe the hype. He says, I wouldn't mind getting Daniels back on a small contract. I know, but what he did is quite well and opened it up for the linebackers according to how the system. I get what you're saying, and I get it. I get it. The only reason my fear when it comes to Mike Daniels is the injury history. My fear is injuries, and that's the reason why I just want individuals that are not injured, But if that's what they do, obviously I'm going to back whoever they get, because I am with Detroit all the way. I'm with the players all the way. I want this team to succeed. I think we can make it interesting, Yuki. You guys are playing the 49ers next year. Look, man, the 49ers are going to be a good team, and I know that's your team, Gridiron Yuki. He's a YouTuber as well. He does hype videos. He does it for the San Francisco 49ers, so go ahead and subscribe to his channel. They're going to be a good team, man. They are. Yes, Mike Daniels' injury is the biggest concern. Yes, and it's not just Mike Daniels, but it's all the players this year. My number one concern is injury history, and it's so important to not be injured, and you got to stay healthy, no doubt about it. Whoa, Man Beast Morris jumped in here. Man Beast Morris is one of the OGs of the Lions game. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. He's one of my favorite YouTubers there is out there. The guy is a straight, awesome human being. Man Beast Morris, love it, man. I love it. If that defense steps up, the Lions will be tough out, even be better than needs. Yes, I know, the 3 and outs. 100% Man Beast. And what goes to make that defense even better is rest. And with the DeAndre Swift, we are going to get that rest that's required for that defense. No doubt about it, man. No doubt about it. Y'all, we can compete. We always keep things close. Yes, we always can compete. No doubt about it. We are going to keep the I think the level of competition next year is going to be close again. We just got to finish the games. No doubt about it. We have to finish the games. You got to pull out a finish. And if we can finish games, we were in every game last year, guys. And we need this for the city of Detroit. We need this for the state of Michigan. We need this. No doubt about it. We need these wins. We need to win, man. You all deserve it. All the fans deserve it. Yes, Man Beast, subscribe to Man Beast Morris. The guy is legit cool. He's one of the coolest guys out there. I'll tell you what, I've been listening to Man Beast Morris for years before I even created a YouTube account. The long time. His rants are epic. I love it. I could listen to him for hours. So he's an awesome human being. We got to get him on the One Pride podcast. Let me know, Man Beast, whenever you can do it, and we're going to get you on there. Our schedule's different between his and mine, and that stinks. So we're going to have to figure something out. I don't think we get Everson. There are many 4-3 teams that will get him than us. Yeah, I think that's possible. I'm not holding my hopes up to get Everson Griffen. If we get him, I'll be happy. But at the same time, I know there's a lot of teams that's looking for his services because he is a quality individual, and especially if a team is on the cusp, they're near that point of competition for playoffs. That would be an individual that can really help them go to the next level. And I think that he's going to demand a decent contract, not insanely high, but I think he's going to get himself a good contract. So I'm keeping my expectations low for him when it comes to Detroit, but I would not be upset at all. I'd be really happy if he signed with the Detroit Lions, and because we need help on the defensive line. And I can't wait. Let's see. I cannot wait for Monday night game against my Saints. I am drinking the blue Kool-Aid. Oh, I love it. Brandy Miss Hodges. Absolutely love it. I can't wait for the season to start. You weren't part of the us when the season was going, and I do live shows while the game's going on, and I go crazy. Yes, Mike, we just need to finish games. Absolutely. I am sorry. I'm behind the Lions. T. Yeah, that's my kid. She laughs about it. I'm planning to make a hype video for both AFC and NFC. Wow, okay. Let me know when you make that hype video, and I'll throw it in my community post for you. I think, once again, I'm not dad. I just like watching. Yes. She roots for the Lions if I am watching it, if she's watching. Other than that, she makes fun of me. Believe the hype, good looking. Yeah, Man Beast he's awesome, man. Finally have a great run game. Run game have been strong. Better secondary, even with Slay. I agree with you. And I want to get into this, why I think the secondary is going to be better this year than it was last year. First off, again, Darius Slay is talented, but he was injured, and he was getting beat a lot. Yes, that was to the defensive line, so I'm going to definitely give issues to the defensive line when it comes to that. But when it comes to Jeff Okudah is a really, really outstanding cornerback. He's going to take his bumps and bruises, but I think midway through the season, he's going to be a guy to reckon with. Amani Oruwariye, guys, he was really looking good last year at the end of the year compared to the beginning of the year. These two individuals, and now we're not even talking about the veterans yet, these two individuals are young and extremely talented, extremely big, long-armed. These guys are not small guys. We're talking 6 foot and 6'1" for corners. That's pretty big. And then we're going to talk about Trufant. Trufant's a veteran presence. When on the field, the guy is a very good player. If we get injured, we have backups. Again, we have Amani, we have Okudah, we have Justin Coleman. We have a lot of depth at that cornerback position. I am not worried about the cornerback position. I think that's going to be the strength of our defense. A whole secondary is going to be a strength. In regards to running game, the running game helps the defense out. If we can do long, sustained drives, it rests the defense. Because games, let's talk about this, guys. In the fourth quarter, that's when points really start adding up because defenses get tired. So if we can maintain long, sustained drives throughout the first 3 quarters by running the football and being balanced, that our defense will be less tired compared to the individual we're playing. So that's so important. It's a game of chess, and we got to be able to do these drives. Like, I love the fast passing attack. Like, I think that's great. But to me, a balanced running game, a team like the Tennessee Titans that just ran it over people, that's how you win football games, man. Because you can't stop it. When a defense is so tired and the team is just consistently running, they know you're running it, but they can't stop it. You got them beat. There's game over at that point. Hey, what's going on, Buffed Up? Can you believe Skip Bayless said Emmitt Smith is better than Barry Sanders? Skip Bayless is a homer for the Dallas Cowboys. Barry Sanders is the greatest, is the GOAT of running backs. He could have destroyed those numbers if he stayed in, but he's a man of respect. So, yeah, I can believe Skip would say that. Skip Bayless says Team Tebow was the greatest quarterback of all time. So, yep, Mike, I think that Amani, yes, and Okudah, 100%, believe the hype. Believe the hype. Let me know when you get your microphone. We got to get you on the live show, too. I'd love to spread your channel around. You do fantastic work. The amount of time that it takes to make a hype video is a long time, and I know that. Carly, are you 100%? You are 100% right. Daryl Roberts, not bad depth cornerback either. Yes. Yes, the cornerback at the depth, or the depth position at the cornerback position, extremely high, and that's another reason why Jamal Agnew is training with wide receivers, because there's no way he's going to make it on a cornerback roster. The depth's insane, and even I like Mike Ford too, and the depth is just there. And I'm very happy about that. What do you think the guards spots? Both of them also do. Amani Oruwariye takes Desmond Trufant's spot. What do you think of the guard spots? Both of them in the guard spots. I'm with you on the Amani Oruwariye take. I do agree with you there. I think that's very possible too, because Amani's ceiling is extremely high. I love what they did. I love what we did in the draft. We took the 2 beast guards round in consecutive rounds, and Jackson, I think, in my opinion, he's automatically the right guard right now immediately. And it really beefs up that run game for us. He's a young guard. He's a monster. Remember, we took Larry Warford in the 3rd round. We took this guy as well. I think Jonah is going to be a fantastic piece on that offensive line, and that solidifies our running style next to Halapoulivaati Vaitai and Frank Ragnow. So I'm right there. I do believe Joe Dahl is going to start as the left guard. But make no mistake, in my opinion, his job is not safe throughout the season. Sternberg is an individual who's a nasty, nasty man, just like everything King states. And he's 100% correct. If he can get to that left guard position, guys, this offensive line is going to be nasty. And I think that Joe Dahl will initially start as the left guard, but I think midway through the season, you'll see him. If he doesn't get injured before or something like that, I think he's going to lose his spot to Sternberg. I think Sternberg is a very good piece for this team. He was a steal that we took. I'm shocked he was there at the round that we took him, and we got a steal there. I think our offensive line is young and set. Very good question, Man Beast Morris. I mean, look at this line. You got Taylor Decker. You have Joe Dahl / Sternberg. You got Frank Ragnow. You got Jackson. Bo Benshaw. He'll be a backup as well. Halapaludi Vaitai and Crosby. That offensive line is extremely young and extremely buff, extremely big. Let's not we forget about Bo Benshaw. 5th round, he should have been a 5th round pick out of Wisconsin last year. We got him as undrafted rookie. He's a very good piece. I think he'll end up being the backup. We're good for the offensive line for quite some time. Taylor Decker is the question mark at this point when it comes to the future. He's really got to play solid this year. If not, and he's not going to be a Detroit Lion after this year. We can either draft a left tackle or we can pick someone else up, but he's got to show himself. Other than that, I'm really happy what we did with this offensive line. We don't have to really worry about a lot of pieces for a while, except for Taylor Decker, and that's not bad when you're just looking at one piece. So the hype video took you, I'm sure it took you 5 hours. It takes a long time, guys. That's why when someone does a hype video, I make sure to watch it fully, because the amount of work that it takes to create those videos is extremely difficult. And again, my memberships will be coming up, and I'm going to do tutorial videos on how I create my content when it comes to hype videos, when it comes to all that. Because I know a lot of people ask how to do it, and so I want to show you a guide how to do it. I can't wait for the Vikes just about the whole free agency matchups on them. The Minnesota Vikings are going to be a tough team, no doubt about it. I think that's the team that we really got to look at and understand that this team is not going to just be good for this year. They're going to be good for a while because they draft so well. They draft so well. The team is just a monster when it comes to making trades and when it comes to making draft picks and free agents pickups. These guys really do a good job, and that's frustrating for a Lions fan because when you draft well, you're always going to be good because you can just simply replace that veteran talent with the young talent, and you can just continue to do well. I can't wait let's see, Taylor Decker is a good guy. That is funny, man, that's one of the funniest things I think I've ever read in my life. If you have not read the article, go to Pride of Detroit. It's hilarious. The offensive line will be nasty. Our trenches will be nasty. Sides the ball, yes, I'm 100% with you. It's going to be extremely nasty. And that's what we need. We need to have a nasty line, not a soft line. You know, we've had a soft line with Dominic Raiola and Jeff Backus throughout the years. We need to have a big and nasty line like the San Francisco 49ers had when they had Harbaugh. That offensive line was ridiculous. And same with the Dallas Cowboys when their offensive line was just a beast mode. Walter Payton is the GOAT. Yeah, Walter Payton is a good back. Definitely really good. Hey, what's going on, LA Original? He is a YouTuber as well. Man, and I got to get on with him. Every time he goes live, it is not the right time for me, but the next time he goes live, and I'm going to jump on with him, and then I'll make sure I do a community post so he can get individuals from my live stream and my subscribers. The only mysteries right now is the cover linebackers and playing defensive coach. How aggressive our defense will be. A good one, Marvin Tolbert. You are correct. How aggressive will this defense be? How aggressive is Unland going to attack? Last year, our aggressiveness was not good. I mean, we were rushing 3. We were not blitzing a lot. You know, that could have been Patricia's style mixed with injuries. I'm not 100% sure, but I think having Unland, if he does take over play calling, and that's not guaranteed yet, that will be a big upgrade over Pasqualoni, who, man, that was a dinosaur defense. There was no aggressiveness. There was nothing to it. So I think that 100% right. I want to see how aggressive we are this year compared to last year, because we have nothing to lose the way that it's taking place. If that defensive line can get pressure and that linebackers, if we can get one to rush the passer and put any pressure on the quarterback, our secondary is extremely talented. We can get turnovers, and that's how you win football games. Decker isn't that bad. He just a little above average. I wish the team him would get beat to tackle and the dude avoid Stafford and back getting perfect. Yeah, I think you're right there. I think he's just average to, mid-tier left tackle. Man, what's terrible about his situation is after his injury, he was never the same. He was really good his rookie year before he got injured, and he was doing an outstanding job, and I thought, what a great pickup. And then all of a sudden, when he got that injury, he seems to never been to that form. So hopefully he can get a little bit better to form and bring a better protection on the left side and do less of penalties. It's very important to do that. Jim Harbaugh, a.k.a. the guy who freaks the hell out. Yeah, man, he and our former coach Jim Schwartz do not like each other. How would you feel if the Lions signed Antonio Brown? I would feel absolutely upset about that. Our wide receiver core in depth is so good. We don't need him. We have one of the best wide receiver depths in all of the NFL. We are up there, top 5 depth. I don't see no reason to bring him in there. We don't want a distraction. Distractions hurt us last year when it comes to personality and not buying into a system. And our wide receiver depth is completely fine. We don't need to upgrade it. We got Cephas in the draft. We got young guys. We have Marvin Hall. We have a really good depth. I do not want to see them bring in another wide receiver. I just don't. Let's see. I believe Detroit isn't finished in free agency. They're likely just waiting for the right to become available to happen. I believe Griffin is the player there. I'm 100% with you, and I think it has a lot to do with this COVID stuff, guys. With the COVID, again, the physicians cannot do a checkup on these players. Time now. But I think, they're going to reopen the facility in a week, hopefully. And so once this COVID stuff dies down, I think you're going to see not just the Detroit Lions, but if you're a fan of another team, really start to pick up the free agents market a little bit again. Individuals that are left in a mark generally have injury history, and that's the reason why they're not getting signed. Do you think that Tomlinson was good as Barry Sanders? No. I think he was good in his right, but Barry Sanders was a dynamic player with a bad offensive line, and we had nothing on our team, and he was doing it all. He took us to the NFC Championship game, and our team was just garbage without him. Barry Sanders is, in my opinion, he's the greatest running back of all time. Tomlinson is an awesome running back. He's a Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. He worked on the Jets as well as, obviously, your Chargers. He was an awesome, awesome player. But I think Barry Sanders is he's in a kind of a tier of his own. I think when you think of Barry Sanders, man. But Tomlinson and Emmitt Smith, that would be a good comparison there. I think Tomlinson is an individual that is going to be known as one of the greats, for sure, no doubt about it. If guards can get a push for the drive people are going to love the deep top 5 zone blocker when we run. Going to see a huge chunks, says going for a contract. If guards can push, yes, they got to push and drive people, I see what you're saying. Yes, that's what we got, and that's why it's important to have a nasty offensive line, just like King always says. When it comes to Sternberg, you got to be able to beat your opponent and push them back. When it comes to our offensive line, we have not had that. I don't remember a time where our offensive line was just beating people like that. It's been a really, really long time. And we've had pieces where players were good, but we've not had a unit of an offensive line as a whole just beat people. Like last year, our offensive line was okay. I mean, we have the 11th ranked offensive line. They did decent pass protection. They weren't as good as run blocking. I think that this year it's going to be a little bit better when it comes to run blocking for sure. Because if you got Halapalooty Vaitai on the right side, and you got Jonah Jackson, and that's going to really open up the right side. Last year, I felt like we just could not get that push, whether it be for Wagner, and it wasn't working as good. Who do you compare Raheem Mostert to? Not sure. Let's see. Why is the Lions scared of speed on offense? I don't think they're scared of that speed on offense. Buffed up. We took Huntley, who's very fast, and Ty Johnson, and to me, those guys there is going to really bring speed to that offense. I think they just need to get the right person. I feel like maybe last year they thought Ty Johnson could be that guy for them, and for whatever reason it just didn't work out. He was not seeing his vision, so they got Huntley. And I think Huntley is a very, man, he was drafted as a running back, guys, but if you look at his tape, he was used a lot as a wide receiver as well. So you're going to see this guy do kind of what Jamal Agnew did for a couple years. I think that's what you're going to see there, but more utilized in the passing game itself. That's why you're seeing Jamal Agnew working out with wide receivers. I think they do want to have speed, but you got to have the right balance as well. Marvin Jones is not known as a fast guy. Cevis is not known as a fast guy. But Marvin Hall, he's deep ball Hall. That guy is speed. He can get out, he can get past the people in the backfield or in the back end of a defense and bring that speed. And of course, Ty Johnson again, but for whatever reason, it just didn't work out. Yes, Barry Sanders the best running back I've ever seen. Tomlinson was a thing to him, but yeah, Barry was the best. Yeah, Tomlinson's a great guy. And had a Barry not retired, I know. This Emmitt Smith stuff versus Barry Sanders, Skip Bayless, he's crazy. He's out of his mind. He retired because he just was not in love with the game no more. Don't understand why fans want to fire Matty P when he has Stafford leave the team, even though the unknowns completed the game. I think they want him fired because we had a coach in Caldwell who was a 9-win coach. He brought us to the playoffs, and all of a sudden we were not in the playoffs with Matt Patricia. But our problem with our team is simple. We do need a culture change, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, it's fine. But at the end of the day, he's our coach now, and hopefully he can bring us wins. And that's all we all want, wins regardless. Huntley and Ty Johnson getting more than 3 or 4 snaps. I think Huntley is going to be, you'll see him on the field, and I'm interested to see this in preseason, buffed up, is see how he's going to be utilized in preseason if we have a preseason, and see him in the formations he's at. He's one of the individuals I'm going to be paying a lot of attention to. Last year I was paying attention to Ty Johnson in the preseason, and this guy, it's going to be Huntley. Them long plays people remember on the outside zone runs behind the Decker. He's quite elite. Just can't do it too much because of the outside, easy to stock up on. Sounds much better. Yes, thank you, Joseph Murdoch. I literally spent, when I got home from work yesterday, at 2:15, I got home, I worked on this stuff all the way till about 10:30 last night. Hey, and I'm happy I got everything squared away, and so I do not like not good sound. Hey, what's going on, Gridiron Blitz? What's going on, buddy? The Gridiron Blitz, man, he helped me out a lot when it comes to my setup, so I appreciate it. Do you think Derrick Henry will be the next Barry Sanders? No, Derrick Henry is a completely different beast from Barry Sanders. Derrick Henry is a man who's going to punch you in the mouth, and he's a different size. Barry Sanders is a shifty running back who it's hard to tackle. He's a lot smaller than Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is... he's a much bigger man. It's a whole different style of running. With a roster, let's see, the second round. Do you think that Swift was the right pick? Yes. Dion, I have not seen you in my chat, sir. Welcome to the chat. If you're not subscribed, please do so. And we do live shows, you can see, Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And, man, I think that not only was he the right pick, he was the best player on the board, and he is, I think, in my opinion, I think he is going to be the pick that changes a lot for the Lions this year, because he is going to demand that defenses pay attention to our running game. That is so important. We've not had that since Javid Best. When now defense must prepare for a running game, now the individuals as wide receivers, TJ Hockenson, tight ends, they will have a little more space to get open. And doing that will get more first downs, and we can actually run the football, sustain long drives. When you sustain long drives, then as well on defense you're getting rest, and the defensive line can get rest. And we know in the fourth quarter it is very vital to have a rested defense. Okay, if we have a rested defense, we're going to be able to close games out. If our defense is tired, that's what's going to happen last year. DeAndre Swift is my favorite pick in this draft. I actually mocked him to the Detroit Lions, and I was so happy that we picked him. Man, I was freaking. It was a good moment for our team and for what we're trying to do in the future. So half run plays went out the door. So half of our run plays went out the door. We're going to have a very good run plays this year. And you know what's good too is we have different running backs. We have DeAndre Swift, who is going to be doing pass. He's going to be on pass downs as well because he can pass catch. He's in between the tackle type of running back, hitting the open lanes. We have Bo Scarborough, who's that bruiser. He's like a mini Derrick Henry, not as good. And then you got Kerryon Johnson, who's all around. So I think we have a really quality backfield there. Our depth at the running back position is quality. Now we just need to sustain the run. It's all on Darrell Bevell at this point and the offensive line. What can we get from Patriots for Jesse James? He'll probably be like a 7th round pick, just because of the contract. But Jesse James has got to step up. You are right buffed up. This guy's got to step up. If he don't step up, he needs to step out because we paid him a very good contract and he has got to make plays. Last year, even when wide receivers were down, he was not getting the ball. I think that Darrell Bevell needs to help him out a little bit more, and the quarterback as well has got to throw his way. Everybody go check out pics of JD and Liddy Mob. Yes, check out the pictures of Derrick's Mobby of Jared Davis. The guy is shredded. Everything King sent that to me, and I seen that picture and I was in awe. He looks like a statue. So make sure, like a Greek statue. So make sure you check it out. He is freaking shredded beyond belief. He's like 3% body fat. Insane, man. He definitely was the pick that was going to change the offense. Totally, sir. Thank you and welcome. Yes, welcoming. Well, you're always welcome, sir. Again, subscribe to, and I'm part of Infinite Sports Network. The description will be below of the individuals that are part of what we do here. And we do live shows every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, where we talk all things Detroit Lions. And it's a very fun time. We're laughing. We're having a good time. And always welcome to join. And we have a good time. It's not necessarily always on my channel. It's always on other channels as well. So, man, subscribe to part of the ISN. Lions record this year, 6-10. Ooh, Michael Geertes. I don't know if I've seen you as well, sir. But if you have not subscribed to my channel, same as what I was talking about, DeAndre. I think that's 9 wins. I think I have the 9 or 10 wins. Once I see more when the season gets closer, when we get near the preseason, and I see how other teams are starting to look, and then I'll make a better record prediction. I just kind of want to see what other NFL franchises are doing right now. It's a little stagnant due to COVID, but we'll get there. I think that we a 9-10 win season seems we can do that. Joseph Murdoch says 12-4. I hope you are correct, Joseph Murdoch. That would be awesome. TJ Hockenson needs to step up. Yes, you're 100% right, Michael Gutierrez. You're 100% right. TJ Hockerson's got to step up, and I think he will. You're going to see, I think that he is going to be if it wasn't for Matthew Stafford, he could be the comeback player. After his injury, I felt like he was having issues. After he hit his head on the ground and sustained a concussion, I think he's going to catch a lot more balls. I think he's going to get more touchdowns. And again, with the running game, he's always open. He's going to get open more. I think Matthew Stafford's going to throw him the ball a lot this year. So I think you're going to see, and if you're a fantasy football guy, we are going to create a show for fantasy football because I love it. ISN is creating a fantasy league, and it's going to be epic. And there'll be prizes wind out. So if you want to sign up for that, you'll have to go to Travis' channel, and he has the sign-up list. Let's see. What's going on, Don19? Welcome. What's your record prediction? Marvin Tolbert, 9-10 wins. I don't want to like say specifically exactly what it's going to be because I have to really look at every team more closely and do a breakdown in that sense. What hurts us is the fact that our bye week is so early. What helps us is the fact that we play on the road, I think 4 out of 6 games, and I don't believe that the stadiums are going to be full. They may be empty. So if we're playing road games without fans in the stands, it's going to be less of an issue when it comes to noise. Swift will run the dive like Ray Rice. He's 5'6" and impossible to spot behind the line. It will give him a reaction edge. Yes, I agree with that, Chris Cashbaugh. And it's going to be fun to watch that. I cannot wait to watch this guy. And I am buying a DeAndre Swift jersey. No doubt about it. This is going to be one of my favorite picks in recent years. Must have a good season in the end zone. Yes, 100%. We got to score touchdowns, not field goals. Damian Estrada. So the Lions are going 4-12. Wow. We shall see about that, Damian Estrada. I think that's going to be more of the Chicago Bears. Oh, man. Let's see here. 10-6, 9-7. Work done back in the day for Tampa was, oh yeah, man, Work done was a monster. Was a monster. I love watching him play. Detroit Lions fans matter. That's funny. Hey, what's going on, Kool-Aid and Cornbread? Welcome to the live stream, man. He says, what's going up, Mike Rowe? If you want to hear me rant about what took place in Minnesota, you'll want to rewind this live stream. Stafford for comeback player of the year. I agree with you, Devin99. If it wasn't for Stafford, I would say TJ would be comeback for the Lions, but I think Stafford very well could be comeback player of the year. If he stays healthy, he was looking real good before he got injured, and now this offense is just on a different level. Can Kenny Golladay be in line to become the next highest paid wide receiver? Yes, DeAndre B. Yes, he can, and yes, I believe he will be in line to be the next highest paid wide receiver. And it depends. I'm not sure who else needs to get re-signed when it comes to the wide receiver position, but hopefully we don't pay him as much as what they did in Dallas. I don't want no $100 million contract. I think that $80 million would be right. They overpaid in Dallas. They really overpaid. And I think that if we can do like a 5-year, $80 million, something like that, I think that would be good. I think Kenny G deserves it. He is really on the rise, and he's a good player for us. And I don't believe Marvin Jones is going to be a Detroit Lion after the season, so we have the ability to sign him to a nice contract. How you been since? Oh, Michael, I've been a fan since 1969. Joseph Murdoch, hats off to you, and hopefully you can finally get some W's because you deserve it. You older fans that's been doing this for many, many years deserve it. My dad's 70. He wants to see a victory. He got to see Barry Sanders in his prime. I did not, but it's time for some victories. Kerryon Johnson secretly feeling like he got still the top dog. Well, I hope he feels that he needs to act like he's the top dog because guess what? We drafted a running back in the second round, and it's very important that he understands that his job is on the line. If he doesn't start producing, bye-bye. Bye-bye. 4-12 isn't 4-12% of double doinks in Chicago gets. That's true. They have bad with kicking. Damian Strauss can't wait for week 1. Bears going to the eat lines for dinner. Oh, I can't wait for week 1, Damian Estrada, because you guys are going to get eaten for dinner. May I add something? Your quarterback is our backup, so we will know kind of a little bit of your playbook. So I think you're going to get beat. I think the Detroit Lions are going to have fun that game. Which team do you think will be the sleepers for the season? Sleeper teams? That's a really good question. I don't know if the Tennessee Titans would be considered a sleeper team after last year, but I think they could have a really good year. The Arizona Cardinals, they really did good in the offseason. They put talent around Kyler Murray, so I'd watch for them as a very good team. I think a lot of people are not giving I think people think the Patriots are just going to be a bad team. I don't think they're going to be that bad. If you look when they lost Tom Brady, I think it was like 2007 or 8 for the year. Their backup came them and won 11 games. So I could see them doing fairly decent for sure. Those teams would be a good team. I'm sure there's a couple that I'm thinking about, but I would pay attention to some of those. Hey, what's going on, Marcus Willis? Welcome to the chat. Do you think that Kenny is better than Amari Cooper? That's a good question. I think it's close to being on the same level. It's just different circumstances. I think that it's close on the same level. I think that Kenny G is better when it comes to contested catches than Amari Cooper, but Amari Cooper is a very good wide receiver and route runner too. So let's see here. Did you buy a carry-on jersey? No, I did not, Michael. I did not buy a carry-on jersey. I'm going to buy a DeAndre Swift, though. Cowboys winning the contract markets at multiple positions. Yes. Arizona, I do believe. Yep, I agree with you. Thanks, Mike. I was looking for last season to be great. Injuries, yes. Injuries hurt us, no doubt. Hey, what's going on, Shane? Welcome to the chat, buddy. And just here talking some Detroit Lions. Watch out for the Bills. Yes, Joseph Murdoch. Yes, Bills are... I think they could win their division. I think the Bills are a very strong and powerful team. Very strong and powerful. When I was 10, I got hooked. Billy Sims gave me practice. Billy Sims, fantastic player. I think I did, about a year ago, I did something on about top 5. One of the top 5 positions, and Billy Sims was one of those guys. Sleeper teams: Chicago, Bengals, Browns, Dolphins, Titans, Redskins, Buccaneers, and Rams. Redskins going to have a scary defensive line. That's something I don't want to play against, that defensive line. Good grief. Bears are not worried about Chase Daniel. Yeah, but they're going to be worried about Matt Stafford. You're going to be worried about Matt the Stafford. Can Cleveland make the playoffs? They can make the playoffs as long as everything can come together. I think their offensive line really hurt that team a lot, and if they can really get and keep the quarterback upright, the Cleveland Browns have a chance to make the playoffs. They got Odell Beckham Jr. as a wide receiver. Their defense is very good. They've drafted well. It's all in that offensive line for them, and I think if they do that, they definitely can be. Forget the Broncos, Yuki. Watch out for the Colts. Yes, Marcus Willis. Yes, the Colts as well. They have a great offensive line. They brought up Phillip Rivers. The Saints, Rams, Falcons in Buffalo. I could see, Falcons are always an up and down team. It's like they can have a really good season or really bad. So, yeah, I could see that. Saints, I don't want to mess with the Saints either. They're a good team. The Rams, yeah, it could be. Quite Joe 187. Hey Mike, what's your thoughts on the punter position? I feel like taking a search to replace Sam Martin lightly. I think they're going to take Fox. I think we have a guy signed in Fox. I thought they were going to draft a punter this year. They didn't. I think they have a lot of faith in Fox. I know there's another punter who's signed, and there's going to be a little bit of a competition, but I think Fox has pretty much won that, in my opinion. I was worried about that as well. I really wanted to get Braden Mann from Texas Tech. The Lions would draft him in the 6th or 7th round. We didn't do that. They're putting their faith in Fox. We'll see. Can Arizona make the playoffs? They can make the playoffs. I don't believe in their division, though. It'd have to be as a wild card. Their division is very good. Broncos will be okay. I think they'll be okay. I was given practice jersey from Lem Barney. Oh, man, that's awesome, Joseph Murdoch. What's interesting is... can't think of the player, but the used to be our defensive end. He gave his jersey to my kid and threw him on his shoulders, and they were running around. He ended up signing with the Seattle Seahawks. Great defensive end he had with us at some point. Let's see here. Dang, that's nice. Tampa will be overrated. I think Tampa's going to be good, man. I think they are going to be good, but I could be wrong. I think they're going to be a good team, though. Sleeper team: Titans, Raiders, Redskins, Cardinals. Ooh, the Raiders. That will be an interesting one to see as well. The Redskins. That defensive line scares me, man. I think you're correct. The NFC East has got to watch out for that defense. That defense, when you have a defensive line like that, jeez. Cardinals, yeah, I do too. Where you live, I want to steal it. Where do you live? I want to steal. I'm not sure you're talking to me. I live in Holland, Michigan. Drew Lock with Homer Sutton from Gordon, Lindsley, Elite Pass, Justin Simmons, Yuki, Mike. Hear your steak. I love steak. I had steak last night. I love steak. I probably eat steak 2-3 times a week. I love a good steak. Tom, with all those weapons, is scary. Yeah, that's my fear. Is they put up 5,000 yards to their quarterback last year, and he was 30 for touchdowns for 30 interceptions. Their offense was actually fairly good. Tom Brady's not going to throw those type of interceptions, and he's going to put up some good numbers, and they have a lot of weapons on offense. A lot of weapons. They got Gronkowski now. Man, that team is going to be very, very good. Tom, with all those weapons, is scary. Cowboys offense will be unstoppable. That'll be interesting to see, because this Dak Prescott stuff is going to be interesting. Is he going to hold out? That will be a question to watch. And if you want to hear more about Dallas Cowboys, you're going to see that on SportsCenter and Skip Bayless, all those shows. But that'll be to see what goes on with Dak Prescott. You know what would be interesting is if Dak Prescott holds out and the Dallas Cowboys sign Cam Newton, because he would be a fit down there. How about the 1957 rematch? Brown versus Lions. Wouldn't that be hilarious? I would love that. I would love that. That would be awesome. Two teams that that never make it. Man. Defense on the Broncos. Who do you think will be overhyped team that will fall? Ooh, good one, Marvin Tolbert. That is a very good question there. Green Bay Packers. I think they could be a team that is overhyped and they could take a big fall. They went 13-3 last year, but with the issues now with Aaron Rodgers, he's a year older. They drafted a quarterback, and their games that they won, it was not like it felt like they should have lost a lot more games last year. They really should have. I think they're going to be overhyped. I don't think they're the scariest team in the NFC North. I think Minnesota is. I think that Minnesota could beat them. That comment was a joke for Joseph. Okay, Stafford with all the competent offensive coordinator and weapons will be scary. Yes, Darrell Bevell's a very good offensive coordinator, a lot of weapons, and he is going to be an absolute. Now this offense is just gonna have fun this year. Had fun last year with the quarterbacks that we had for the backup with Driscoll. And, man, it's going to be really, really good. Mike, are you a Detroit Tigers fan? Yes, I do like the Detroit Tigers. I don't follow it as much as the Detroit Lions, but I'm actually considering to do some live shows for the Detroit Tigers this year, do some live shows for them and watch it. I know they've had a bad year the past couple of years, but I do like to enjoy a baseball game and while I'm sitting in the house on a not doing anything on a nice hot sunny day, having the game going. If I'm in the garage, put it on the radio. And I'm considering doing some of those this year as well, because there's nothing like just sitting back, drinking a brewski, having a nice drink, and when the sun's shining, having the games played, and just relaxing. Maybe I'll do some live stream for the Tigers, and I could do like a live stream outside, right by the water. Be kind of fun, have the radio going. My dog chewed it up and I cried. Ooh, that's terrible. Tom Brady isn't the same quarterback. Arizona needs more gunslingers in the offense. Brady is a dink and dunk quarterback. That is true. He is dink and dunk. He is that. They'll be interesting to see. I think they're going to be good, though, but you could be right. I could definitely be wrong. Jared Davis has gained 20 pounds of muscle. Dude, if you guys haven't seen that picture, you need to, and it is on There Goes Mobby's channel. Go ahead and check it out. He's been dropping some, There Goes Mobby's been dropping some very good videos as well. If you want to see some film breakdown, he's been doing that a lot lately, and it's very good stuff. I sat there and I listened to it, and it is good stuff, but he also did in a community post of shredded Jared Davis. He's shredded. Minnesota and Detroit for the division. Dude, I agree. I think Minnesota is a scary team, man. And I think Detroit's going to be a team that people are not going to expect. Teams that will suck is the Packers, Eagles, Texans, Patriots. I like that for actually Damian Estrada. I do like that for. I think the Patriots will be better than what they're getting credit for, but they're the people thinking they're going to be like a 4-win team. I don't think that. I don't think they win their division. I think the Buffalo has a chance to beat the division. Eagles, I agree. I agree there. I think that's actually a really good one. Texans, man, yeah, I think they're going to have some dysfunction. They had a great... I can't believe they traded their wide receiver away. There's a lot of dysfunction there. Packers as well. Put Mahomes on the Bengals in a playoff team. Whoa, yeah, man, you put Mahomes on a lot of teams. He's a playoff team. That's another team. I think they're going to be a lot better than people expect. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs or anything, but I think they're going to be a good team. Better than what they were last year. Sorry, I am late. I was sleeping. Gridiron Goku, sleeping is more important than me talking about the football. Bold prediction, Lions beat the Saints, and the media will give some Lions respect. That will be, man, I would love to beat the Saints. Saints always beat us. They always seem to beat us, and that's going to be a tough game for sure. I would love it. I posted my own for up tape will fall. Okay, make sure you subscribe to Gridiron Yuki. He is a YouTuber as well for the San Francisco 49ers. So even if you're not a Lions fan, it's always good to support YouTubers, and I support him. Do you think Jarrad Davis should be moved to outside linebacker Joseph Murdoch? I do. I do believe he needs to be moved to outside linebacker. I think that he is very quick and fast. I think that would be putting him in a position to succeed. I believe Tavai should be our middle linebacker, and hopefully that Unlin does that. Hopefully Unlin can see. We will check that out in training camp. Hopefully there's training camp in the Detroit area, because if it is, I am going to be there. What's going on? Oh my God, it's Lions Talk. Welcome to the chat, brother. Welcome to the chat. Muscle mass for Jarrad Davis isn't the issue. Davis has to attack and stop overrunning plays. He does need to stop overrunning plays. I think if we put him on the edge, make sure that you check it out. We go 3-0 and start talking Lions. Tim Hutchinson, welcome to the chat. I haven't seen you in a little bit, man. Welcome. Refs are going to screw us the Saints game, probably. But the refs also screw over the Saints too as well. Packers, Tampa, and Houston overhyped. I agree with the Packers and Houston. It's a boy back row. That's funny. Agreed. Do you think that Vontaze Burfict should be banned from the NFL? Ooh. He should. I think he should be banned for a year. He is definitely a dirty player. For the lifetime. No, I don't think so, man. If Michael Vick can come back after what he did with those animals, and he came back a forgiven man, he did his time, then yeah, if you can humble oneself, then yeah, you should be able to come back. I'm not sure if that's in his DNA. It was when it comes to players such as Michael Vick, and he changed the way he was, and he came back and did a good job changing his lifestyle. Did you see the pics of Jarrad Davis? Dude is jacked. Yes, the Gridiron Blitz. It's insane. Insane. And he is jacked. And cut. We need to blitz on third down more. I agree. We must blitz, Tim. We got to blitz more. We got to be more aggressive. Hope Undlin will do that compared to what Pascaloni was doing. I think the safe defense aren't getting talked about enough. That is at many levels. Yeah, I agree. I think... the Saints' defense is not given credit for. Everyone talks about the offense, but their defense is good. The question about Kirk will be break his primetime curse. Kirk Cousins lives, his family lives 5 miles from my house. They're local heroes here. He's a local hero here. I think that he doesn't have to do it at all. Their team is really good. They got a really good run game. They're really good defense. Mike Zimmer's a really good coach. That's the team that scares me in the NFC North. Tim Hutchinson, yes, welcome. Burfict is a law-abiding citizen, yes, but you can't. In my opinion, if you're going to really go after players' heads and stuff like that, that's just it's not called for, man. What we know about when it comes to concussions and trying to hurt individuals, we have to be more He has to be more readily understanding that. If it's accidents, I don't like accidents. Because the game is so quick. When people, if it happens in anomalous, I'm not upset about it because the game is so quick that people are going to get hurt, concussions, and hit with head. But if you're doing it on purpose, that's a little bit different. I think he does. Anyone should be forgiven for what they have done. I'm not in complete banning somebody forever unless you go kill somebody like the old tight end from the New England Patriots. That's a different story. You want pancakes. Mason Rudolph should be banned. Mason Rudolph, I think he did some bad stuff too. I think he kind of provoked it. He was a provoker. I don't think he should be banned though. And when it comes to the NFL, everybody is good. It's a mental game for sure. What do you think will be the biggest hurdle for the Lions? The biggest hurdle for the Lions is simple. The biggest hurdle is injuries. We have to stay healthy. We must stay healthy. If the Lions can stay healthy, to me, that's the biggest hurdle. The second biggest hurdle is finish games. If they can do those two things, we can win football games. Finish games and stay healthy, the Lions will be there. Last year was an insane, unruly amount of injury, and we didn't finish games. We do that, we are going to finish games. Saints offense are a little overrated. Okay. And Patricia asked Jared Davis to put on the muscle. I think he kind of seen the writing on the wall that he needs to really take his game up a notch. And he's an individual that, he seems to me, he's got all the intangibles of a quality human being. And he felt maybe that his body was not prepared as well as it could have been. And so he got shredded. Let's see, what do you think would be the... Let me get back here. Vikings is a scary team. Our division, yes, they are. Don't believe in him, and glad Stephon Diggs is gone. Yes, and they turn around and draft another wide receiver. And that's what's so good about this team. They draft good. They're good in free agents, and they're good at trades. They have good front office. Hey, what's going on, Go Lions? Welcome back, man. Welcome back, buddy. What do you think about Hunter Bryant? I think he's going to be splashes from the tight end position. Yes, great pickup for the tight end. PFF actually rated him the best tight end in this draft. I'm not sure about that, but I think he has a chance to really make this roster. I think it's possibly go 4 tight ends. If we do 3, I think he could. There's a good chance he can beat out Nada. Absolutely, and I can't wait to see him in preseason. I cannot wait to see him in preseason. Wait, what's going on, Detroit fan man? Welcome to the chat, brother. Let's see here. Who do you want the Detroit Tigers to pick in the draft? Oh my God, it's Lions talk. I have not got into that as of yet. I've really been focusing on Lions. I will dig deeper with that, and I will get back to you. What was the biggest hurdle for San Francisco 49ers? Win the Super Bowl. They're a really good team, man. that's about it. Just beat sustain. If you sustain a lead, keep the lead, because they went to the Super Bowl. That's not a lot of bad. You like the LA Rams and Chargers, New Jersey? Actually, I do like the LA Rams. Yes, is it the Chargers jersey, the helmet or something? I think one of them was not good. One of them was good. I have to get one. They confuse me sometimes. When it comes to Lions, they're all young and they're first and second year players. Yes. Amani, to me, is going to be a really breakout player. I think he's going to be good. I think Okudah is going to be really good. TJ Hawkinson, young. We have a lot of good young talent, and I think it's going to take it to the next level. Ban Perfect and bring back Kaepernick. Yeah, Kaepernick is. I think when it comes to him, there's a couple issues there. I think teams are a little skittish. He hasn't been in the league in a long time, and I don't know his demanding his contract, but he's not banned. I think he's more blackballed than banned. I think Perfect shouldn't be banned for life. I don't think any player should be banned for life unless you're doing something really, really bad, like murdering or just beating women to death or something. What player do you think could get cut but you don't want to? What player do you think should get cut? Okay, that's a really good 2 questions there. A player that could get cut that I don't want to could be Bo Benshaw. I think I like him as a young guard. I think it's possible he could get cut. I don't want him to. I'd like for him to be a backup. And a player who I want to get cut, who I don't blink, or a player that I want cut who may not get cut, Christian Jones. I think this guy should get cut. I don't like him as a linebacker. I don't like him as a player. I think he is not very good. I believe that he should get cut. I don't like him at all. I think he's a bad player. I hopefully he's not on this team. He is my Nevin Lawson of this year. He is my KFC of this year. There's always a player that I just don't like, and I think it does not have the play to be for us. Let's see, Davis, too light for his strength. He comes in at 264. He's shredded now, man. I would like to see his size. He is a man. If you ain't seen that picture now, make sure you go see it. Do you think that trust Matthew Stafford to stay healthy? Doesn't stay healthy. See, this is my fear with Matthew Stafford, guys. It's not the play on his field. It's his broken spine that he had last 2 years. I think he will stay healthy this year. I think we're going to run the football a little bit more, so that'll put less risk. And that's key for this season. Stafford's got to stay upright. If he gets another injury this year, we really got to start looking for quarterback next year. I love Matthew Stafford. I think he is a great quarterback for our team. The only issue I have, again, is his health. And so hopefully he can stay healthy. His back is good. I'm glad that we rested him for the last couple, basically the last whole half of the season last year. That was a great idea. He's getting rest this year. He needs to come back fully healthy. Let that spine heal. But my fear is, because I have spine issues, is all it takes is one good hit, and all that rest is not going to mean anything, because after a while you get arthritis. Bones tend to not get stronger. They tend to get weaker. So it's important that, obviously he has very good physicians, being a multimillionaire, but it's important that this man stay healthy and not take too many hits, and I'm glad Everson Griffin is not playing for the Minnesota Vikings, because we need less hits for that man. Do you really need Jesse James now that we have Hunter? We paid this man. Yeah, I don't want to take a cap hit on this guy. We need Jesse James. Unless they trade him, we have to play this guy. We paid him a lot of money. He's got to step out. If they somehow trade him and they were to be able to acquire something good in return, I'd be okay with that. But at this point, we got to utilize this man. Mike, the president of the Christian Jones fan club. Yes, I am definitely the president of I Don't Like Christian Jones. And this dude's got to step up or step out. I agree, Mike. I love picking up Bo, and I really dislike Jones. Yeah, 100%. Was it a broken spine? Yes, it was a fracture in the spine. So it was not like he broke his spine where it was severed. It was a fracture, so a crack. And I know exactly what that's like. So yes, that's considered a break. But it's very dangerous when you're dealing with the spine, because obviously it's the spine. But when you have a spine injury, if you guys are not familiar when it comes to back injury, it's not the area that just hurts. It disseminates the pain throughout your body. I have a double neck fusion. When my neck hurts, it's not that my whole neck hurts, it's my whole left side hurts. My hand gets tingly, it hurts all the way down here, it hurts down my shoulder, and it hurts down my leg, and it's a pain in which if you've ever had like a exposed nerve on a tooth, that's what it's like when it comes to a spine injury. It is unbearable, and it hurts really, really bad. And it affects your whole body. Like when my neck really, really hurts, my hand goes numb. And when I had my double neck fusion, I got told I may never have feeling on my left side again, on my left hand again, because it's hurt so bad before I couldn't feel anything. But after the surgery, luckily I saved that, and now I got feeling back in my hand. But it's very dangerous because it disseminates throughout the rest of your body. It's not just like if you pulled a hamstring or you break a leg, it's to that area. But when you deal with the spine, it hits all your areas, and that's what's so deadly about it. Keep James. We got to tackle. Yes, we do. We should have been looking for this year. You got to stay at there. As much as we don't like Christian Jones, he's the type of linebacker and Patricia prefers. Well, I prefer an individual that can actually cover. And so I understand he's one who prefers. If he's on this team, he needs to really step up. And I'm talking legit, he needs to step up. Hey, what's going on, Anthony? Welcome to the chat. I'm not a Detroit Lions fan, but I'm asking these questions of mine, who is a Detroit fan. He's been doing that for Sarasota. Okay. Well, welcome to the chat. You don't have to be a Detroit Lions fan here. You can see here, Gridiron Yuki's not a Lions fan. There's a Bears fan in here. There's other individuals here. And what's good about my channel as well is I'm gonna start talking about I'm going to be talking about fantasy football as well. We're going to do a show, and I love fantasy football, so that's going to be in regards to every team, not just the Detroit Lions. So, yeah, if you got questions even about other teams, I have no problem answering, even if you're not a Detroit Lions fan. Like Gridiron Yuki, he's a 49ers fan. Do you miss Golden Tate? Do I miss Golden Tate? His personality, yes. His play on the field, not really. I feel like our weapons on the offense is really good, man. And he wanted a bigger contract. We have really, I like what we got on offense. Kenny Galladay, he's a number 1 wide receiver. Marvin Jones Jr., he's a potential to be a number 1 wide receiver, but he's our number 2. Danny Amendola, he's a good slot receiver. Then we got Marvin Hall, who's a really good number 4, who, in my opinion, next year could be our number 2. The guy is deep ball Hall. He's catching everything. Cephas, we drafted him. He's going to be a good wide receiver for us. And you're going to see Huntley in the wide receiver position. And our depth at wide receiver is so good. So no, I miss his personality. I love his personality. But honestly, man, I don't miss anything else. I mean, he did really do good catch after a run after the catch. But other than that, I'm really happy with the depth. Do you feel better about the backup quarterback situation this year than last year? Yeah, I do. I do, because I didn't even know who Driscoll was. And in all honesty, my trust in Darrell Bevell is extremely high. So he can take a quarterback such as a Driscoll and make him look fairly well, and David Blau fairly well. Then I have no problem with the backup quarterback when it comes to Mike Daniel. Is there better quarterbacks? Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. But my faith in Darrell Bevell is extremely high, and the run game as well. So that's where I get my faith at. Which games are you looking forward to this season? Mine is Week 1. I'm definitely looking forward to that game. Week 2 as well. Against the Green Bay Packers in the NFC North. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's going to be a fun game. Hopefully I can go to Ford Field and go to that game. If I miss a question, guys, just simply resend it. It's not because I'm being mean. It's because I'm not seeing it. I'm looking for that Tampa Bay big. I'd like to see Tom Brady before he retires. And this may be my last chance to do it. I think that'll be a fun game to go to in Detroit. New Orleans Saints is always a fun game to play, for sure. Watch tape on Jones. He doesn't get pressure, doesn't cover well. Yeah, to my thing is he just doesn't cover well. He was getting beat a lot. Let's see. Mike, question. Do you think the Lions are going to have trade Calvin Johnson since he retired? Trade Calvin Johnson. He's retired a few years ago. The Dolphins had in the replacement. You know what? Hold on a second. I am going to try to fix something here. And yeah, let me see here. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let me try this one here. I'm gonna try to open it up because I'm having a hard time seeing. Okay. And I don't think they're gonna trade. He's done. He's a retired Detroit Lion. There. He's not coming back. And in all honesty, his body took a beating, so he wouldn't want to come back as well. I think he's happy where he's at. Honestly, the deepest roster the Lions have is defensive end. I don't like McBurger. I know you don't, the Gridiron Blitz, and I get it. I just think I have so much faith in Darrell Bevell in the scheme that he puts up on offense. He made Driscoll and David Blau look fairly good, and man, the offense really did well last year. Given the circumstances, I just trust Darrell Bevell the most. With a crazy deep roster, it seems there will be uncomfortable. Mike Daniels is okay. He will be better than what he was last year. Yeah, I think he will be. And he's a backup, guys. We're talking about a backup, and I don't think Matthew Stafford's going to be injured for 8 games. If he has to sit out a game, I think that he could do fine. True, next year we're going to have even more cap. Yes, and that's what I love about Bob Quinn, guy. He's a financial guru, and to me, it's the most important thing when it comes to a franchise is the finances, and he's done a good job. So hopefully we can win and keep Bob Quinn in there. I think he's drafted well, and he's done good with finances. Next year, we're going to have even more cap, absolutely. As long as we get Everson Griffen, I will be happy. Yes, Gridiron Blitz's guy is Everson Griffen. He's been stated that from the beginning. I know you want that. I'm looking forward to the 49ers facing the Cowboys, Packers, Saints, Eagles, Redskins. Yeah, that's a lot of good teams you're going to be facing. Are we sleeping on tight end Hunter Bryant? No one's sleeping on him. We always have one rookie free agent that comes and makes the team. I think he's the guy this year that we'll be looking at. Can't wait to see him in the preseason and in training camp. Who will be starters on the offensive line by the end of the season? Okay, I am going to make a prediction here. So the left tackle position will be Taylor Decker. The starting of the season will be Joe Dahl. The end of the season, it's going to be Sternberg. I think he'll be our left guard. Frank Ragnow, right guard. I think Jonah Jackson, right center Frank Ragnow, right guard Jonah Jackson, right tackle Halapaludi Vaitai. That will be the ending offensive line for next year. And the reason is I think Sternberg's ceiling's a little bit higher. And I think he's a little bit higher than Joe Dahl. I think he's going to start making an impact. Mike, what do you predict in the NFL is going to have each conference? They're going to have realignment in each. What do you predict? That would be interesting to see if there was a realignment. I have not heard about that. That would be epic. That would be a bold move. Picture the formation of Stafford in the shotgun and his right carry-on to Galladay. I know that would be sick. You wrong, Grid. He did an excellent with the finances. He does. We got 30 likes. Scary. Man, if there's 38 people in the chat, I seen 46 at one point. Make sure to hit that like if you haven't done so. Hit the bell for all of my notifications and leave me a comment and tell me what you think about this chat. Dude was the street 2 weeks before he beat us. What's going on with Decker? I think he's got to perform this year. I think he's an average left tackle. I think he's got to get better. I'm tired of the holding calls. I'm tired of the false start calls. To him, he needs to get better with the flags. That's his weakest point. I'm going to bet the Lions finish 11-5 or better. I would love that, Joseph Murdoch. Blitz, I like Everson Griffen, but I feel we take anyone. It'll be the player there. I'm sorry, I'm trying to go through this quick because it's starting to pile up a little bit. It's a contract year, and that's a beautiful thing. Mike, because the division don't make sense now having the AFC East instead of the AFC South. I think that would be a bold move. I think that would be fun, man. I think that'd be really fun. But knowing our luck that the teams in the NFC North start to suck, and then we would go to teams that are good, and that would suck. And Everson Griffen will be a stud here. I think he would be a very good piece, having Trey Flowers on one side, him on the other, moving around with Akwara. I think that the Akwara brothers, I think that would be awesome. Decker actually doesn't commit that many penalties other than the Arizona game last year. I heard number 68 a lot. And I don't want to hear a number 68 injury or number 68 penalty anymore. I think he needs to get better on that front. I'm not lying, Antonio. Okay. Let's see. Bye, Mike. I have to eat lunch. And thank you for answering all the questions. Oh, well, have yourself a great lunch. And no doubt about it, I wanted to do a really long stream today just because I felt like doing it. And I felt like just talking some Lions, talking some general talk. Again, I talked about the situation in Minnesota. I got very upset about it. So if you want to see that, you'll have to rewind the channel. I know I got a thumbs down for it, but I think that's important too because life also matters besides the Detroit Lions. Personal foul holding number 68. I'm tired of hearing that. I'm tired of number hearing that 68. It was driving me crazy. Hey, what's going on, Rocco P? Welcome to the chat. I haven't seen you in a little bit. Nice to see you. If it's one thing or another with this team, offense or defense. Yes, it's always one is good or one's not good, and it continues to go that way. I want it to be both offense and defense good. Salary cap may not increase next year. It may not increase. I think we really do good with our cap, so I'm not too worried about that. Bob Quinn is a master of the cap. He does a really good job. Chase Daniel is a top 10 cornerback. Yeah, about that. Yeah, he's not a top 10 quarterback. Maybe as a backup, I don't know. But top 10 quarterback, woo. That is definitely stretch. Would rather Decker hold than get Stafford killed. Well, yeah, for sure. If that's the cause, yes, take holding all day. I'll take a 10-yard penalty over a end of the year situation, no doubt about it. Last year he committed 8 penalties, 4 in the Arizona game. Very true. Hey, Micro, been great, man, living life. Yeah, man, it's finally starting to get warm out. If you live in the state of Michigan, enjoy it. Be outside. You know, this right now is the lull in the season, and you know, because obviously not a whole lot going on right now. We're just waiting for everything to pick up in training camp. But we're still going to do the Talk Detroit Lions and do the podcast every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll take top 10 back up. Maybe, yeah, I think that's what he's, maybe. I wouldn't say even top 10. I would say, mid-round. I would say mid-round. That's fine. You know, he's not going to be the great, but we don't need that. We got Darrell Bevel. I think he's really good. Steve, what's going on, man? Welcome to the chat. I would have a 10-yard penalty than have Jimmy G getting destroyed. Oh, yeah, I think if you ask any fan, no doubt about it, I think they'll take a 10-yard penalty all day before their quarterback getting injured. That's hashtag facts. That's hashtag facts on facts crime. And you're not going to hear me complain at all about that. No doubt. No doubt. The cap is going to increase. They're adding a game next year. That they may add that game. Is that confirmed now that they're going to add the game? That will be interesting as well. Then they need to... Yeah, I know they added the roster to 55 this year, so that will be seen. It's annoying though, Blitz. We just have a habit of retiring great, and most of the time they don't finish their contracts. Yeah, I know Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson. My fear is Matthew Stafford will be in that category. I hate that narrative, Dad Dude Live. Oh my God, Melamo dropped a $19 super chat. God bless you, sir. Oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And folks, the super chats that you guys been doing is going back into the channel. No doubt about it, it is. I got a new microphone. I purchased a new green screen. I purchased a new chair. Thank you so much, Melamo. God bless your heart. You are an awesome man. Galladay needs to be paid. Yes, Galladay needs to be paid. Absolutely. He needs to get paid. I need that man to be paid. Man, there's Spider-Man. He said thank you. Oh, man, that was... Yes, he's got to get paid. He's definitely got to get paid. I want to see Kenny Galladay with a 5-year extension. That would be nice, and I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to assume it's going to happen before training camp at some point. So in the next 70 days, I think he's going to get paid. What do you think of the... Oh, Melamo, man, you took my breath away. Cardinals and Seahawks should... What do you think the Rams, Cardinals, and Seahawks should do this season? I think the Rams are going to be a competitive team. I think the Cardinals are going to be a sleeper team. I think the Seahawks make the playoffs. All three are going to be in that spot. Seahawks always win. They got a good team. They got good fans. They got a loud stadium. They got a lot of good there. Arizona Cardinals are really building something. They are. And the Rams, they... look, and they were good a couple years ago. They may be an 8-8 team. They may be a 9-win team. It could go either way. You're all miles into building. Oh, my God. I've never cheered for an injury. Also, coach kids, I know injury matter, but I clapped when Rodgers went down twice. I did, too. I love it when Aaron Rodgers gets injured, when Sharon Rodgers gets injured, I get happy. I can't stand that guy. I don't like his personality. I don't like his diva ways. He seems like he's an elitist. I don't like him. I don't like his personality. I think he's a dude I would definitely dislike in real life if I met him. I don't like him. And it's not because, when it comes to the Detroit Lions and him doing well against us, I just don't like the guy. And I didn't like Jay Cutler. I thought his personality was really bad. And, didn't like him. I take personalities, to me, is more important than a lot of other things. And if you got that elitist mentality where you think you're better than other people, I don't like that. I grew up extremely poor, and I value the hard work that blue-collar people do. I don't think I'm better than anyone else when it comes to paychecks on a job. I do not have that elitist mentality. Mike, if you restructure any contract, who would it be? Jesse James. That would be the contract I restructure. To me, he's not living up to it. But if the Seahawks are good, yeah, they are good. I mean, they're a good team, man, especially on the 1 yard line. Galladay is going to be expensive. Not sure if he is worth it being paid a receiver. We shall see. Yeah, I think he should get paid. It's just depending on the contract. I'm not wanting to pay him Amari Cooper a $100 million contract. I think a 5-year, $80 million contract would be okay, depending on if there's incentives and others stand that. I think he should get paid. I think we have the money to pay him, too. Miles 19 is a 19 is a number, odd number. I didn't know you. that. It is a number. Don't like Rodgers either. Yeah, it is. Again, he's just got that personality that you want to punch him in the face. I grew up poor, and I hate that mentality. And right now, I live a very successful life when it comes to finances, when it comes to how I run my life. But I grew up extremely poor, and so I hate that mentality. I hate that elitist mentality. I'm better than you. I don't like that because I don't believe that. Rodgers is a chump. He is. Yeah, I had to type it in. Melamo, yeah, you're awesome, man. Facts, Tim Hutchinson. Rodgers is going to be benched this season. Man, I would love to see that. If that happened, that would be crazy, but his contract is really expensive. I don't see it. Rodgers is going to be the next Brett Favre, going to play for another team. I could see that, Damian Estrada. I definitely could see that. Not this year. I don't think it gets traded this year. I'm not sure about his contract details next year. I think maybe next year is a possibility. I think, interesting enough, last offseason I said they were going to draft a quarterback this year, and then they did. Because that's kind of the way the Green Bay Packers go. But I could see him getting traded away or complaining his way out. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. If Rodgers makes Yuki Jordan, Love needs to sit a year. Yeah, I think Love needs to sit a year. I think it's a good idea. And his contract, Aaron Rodgers' contract, I don't see him being benched. If he got injured, different story. I live a very successful life because I'm on YouTube. Podcast is amazing. You know what? You know how someone lives a successful life, guys? It's not about finances. It's not about none of that. Are you happy when you wake up every day? Are you happy you go to work? Do you consider your work a job? Do you consider your family a good family? Do you come home to a happy family? That's a good life. I don't care. But the money, look, money's great, but coming home to a good family and living the dream with the family life is much better. So, no doubt about it. Player we don't see that will be superstar is 2020 Detroit. Player who we don't see that will be a superstar. Great question, Elliot Thorne. Welcome to the chat. That was a great question. Player who we don't see that could be a star out of nowhere. I don't know if this is a player that won't be. I think, to me, he's going to be a star, and that's Amani Oruwariye. I don't know that he's not seen that way. I think he can be a star. I definitely believe that Amani Oruwariye could be a star. That would be my guy who I picked to believe to kind of come out of nowhere. They would say come out of nowhere. I think he's a great player. Another player would be Huntley. I think he can be utilized in many facets on the offense, in the passing game, jet sweep, those type of plays, kick returner. Are you concerned about coaching this year? Yes, I'm always concerned about coaching this year. But you have to be concerned. Last year, our defense took a really bad term. We haven't seen what Unlin can do yet. We don't know. He's never been a defensive coordinator yet. That concerns me. I'm less concerned because I felt like Pasqualoni was that bad, and I think that if he can just be adequate, that's good, but it always got to concern you. I think Matt Patricia's got to concern you a little bit. I mean, he's made some questionable calls and plays when it comes to the defense. So, yes, it's definitely concerning. And this is a make-or-break year. If we don't win football games, they're going to be gone. So, yes, always concerning. 13-3 in home field advantage. Melamo, man, that would be awesome. Pack go 6-10. There goes Aaron. Yeah, if they go 6-10, I think that would spell the end of that. Do you think Quinn gets one more free agent? Yes, Joseph Murdoch, 100% do. Defensive line, I definitely see him being the free agent. Again, it could be an end, it could be a tackle. That's what I do see them going for. To be happy, I need to avoid the news. Josh Zook, I am that way as well. I cannot stand the legacy media. I hate it. I cannot watch the news. It makes me irritated. It makes me really, really mad. And I don't have cable. I got rid of cable for that. I can't stand news. I can't stand it. A lot of that stuff makes me mad. And it doesn't matter if you're a liberal, a conservative, if you're a libertarian like myself, or whatever. Okay, you get news outlets that CNN is completely different from Fox News, completely different from MSNBC, completely different from the Drudge Report. I don't care. To me, I can get along with any person's philosophy if you're a liberal, conservative, whatever, any religion, because people like us are real human beings. The people we see on the media are fake. They do not practice what they say, and it's disgraceful. They don't actually practice what they preach. We do. If you believe a certain way, if you're a conservative individual and you believe in your conservative beliefs, you actually believe it. The people on TV, they don't believe it. It's a fake. It's a facade. It's not real. I respect real. If you're a liberal, you're an individual, a Bernie Sanders type of fan, individual to like a Tim Pool or a other individuals like that out there, they believe what they say. I respect that. The people in the media, the CNNs, the MSNBCs, those type of liberals, they don't actually believe it. They don't. And so I don't listen or I don't watch legacy media news. If I want to get news, I generally go to other YouTubers on the net. I listen to Sticks Handhammer, Tim Pools. I listen to all types too. I don't listen to just a conservative, just a liberal. I am an individual that is like an independent type, and so I listen to those type of facts. Josh, thanks, Mike, great picks. Thank you, Huntley, yes. In the season here yet? What was 70 some days before? Vikings 12-4, Bears 9-7, Lions 4-12, Packers 13-3. Man, I will bet you on that prediction. Jordan Love isn't NFL ready. Yeah, he's not. In my opinion, he's not. But he just needs to sit back and learn. Who will be a breakout player for the offense and defense? Great question, Tim. You're killing it. Breakout player for offense. Obviously, I could say Matthew Stafford, but I'm not going to do that. That's too obvious. I'll say DeAndre Swift. I think he's going to be a breakout player. I think he's really going to make our offense absolutely stunning. Defense? Breakout player. I like Amani Oruwariye. I said that one before, so I'll go a different player here just because I always say that one. Trey Flowers. I think Trey Flowers is going to break out. He was really doing good at the end of the year last year. He was starting to get a sack in every game. I think he's going to break out and make the Pro Bowl. And Pro Bowl when it comes to stats. I don't know if, it's a popularity contest, but I think Trey Flowers is going to get after it this year. Today's news is like tabloids. Yeah, 100%. Hell yeah, Tim Pool. Yeah, I like Tim Pool. There's a comedian, too, I listen to a lot. He's more comic media. I love that guy. I can't forget his name. NFL Love Child. News plus Trump equals fake news. And see, he believes what he says, and so I'll take that over someone that's the CNN that say that. And when it comes to politics, guys, I'm indifferent. I am not big into politicians or politicians. I don't like politicians themselves. I think 99% of them are fake. There's some good ones out there, but I consider running for local office because I get so mad with these fake people. So when it comes to, like, if you say like presidents and stuff like that, I just don't really get into that type of stuff because it's just I'm not an individual that gets into it because to me a lot of these guys are fake. On decision making, packed awareness, reading the defense is bad in there. By Tim. Adios, Tim Hutchinson. Thank you for joining the chat. Have yourself a fantastic day. Breakout player, TJ Hawkinson. Yes, I do like that one. Josh Zook, no doubt about it. Blitz knows. Yes, who will have more sacks, Julian or Romeo? Good one. Wow. That's a good question. I don't know. You know what? I don't know. That's a very good question. I will go with the older brother. I will go with that one just because he's been in the defense. But man, that's a very good question. I like that one. A breakout player, Deebo Samuel is a really, really good player. Javon Kinlaw is a very good draft pick for you guys. I love Deebo Samuel. I thought he would be a great pick for us last year, but we didn't need wide receiver. I just liked him as a wide receiver. I thought he was going to be a really good player. So you got yourself a stud, folks. I would love him for the Lions, but I did not want to use draft capital on a wide receiver. But he's a good player. You got a good one there. Shelton. Ooh, I like that one. I do like that one. I definitely like Shelton. For sure, good pick. And I seem to forget about this guy. I don't know why. To me, he's a huge pickup for us on that defensive line. But yeah, no doubt about it, man. Guys, I have been on for a while. I don't even know how long I've been on. Been on for a couple hours. I'm going to go ahead and call it a day and hang out with the fam, get something to eat because I'm hungry, and enjoy the rest of my day. Tuesday night, the One Pride podcast is on the Gridiron Blitzes channel. Make sure you guys show up, and we are not going to have audio issues like before because I got it fixed. So make sure that you have subscribed to everyone in ISN, and we are going to have a fun time. I think I'm going to try to get on here in the next, maybe with our newest member of ISN, to get Mark Oram from Oram's Forum on here. I'd love to do a one-on-one with him at some point. And we're building something, folks. We are building something. We have fun, and that's what it's all about. Dat Dude Live, yes. Thursday, if you're good to go, just confirm it before Thursday so we can have the essential people on for that show. With that said, folks, again, I really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to talk some Detroit Lions and just simply talk life talk. With that said, folks, I will see you later. Have yourself a fantastic weekend. Enjoy